To start an activity on your Suunto 9 from the watch face, press the upper button to reach that page, exercise. Select it with the middle button, and from here you will have the option to choose between all of those activities that you can see on that page. And if that is not enough, when you reach the bottom, you got other, and from here you really have a lot of options. And if it's not enough, if it is, you also have unspecified sport. So that's another option. But probably that the sport you want to do is available on the first page. So let's go for the example for a run, hiking, whatever. Let's go for a hike. So select that activity. You can use the right button or simply click it, and then just wait for that start button to be circled in green. What we will see here, on top you've got the time of the day. You then got your heart rate, that actually is really false. And you also got an estimated time of charge. You also got option, if you see here, you can use the lower button to reach that page, and from here you will have some option. You've got Suunto Plus, that is something that I didn't try, but that should make come up few other pages with some option, but I never really tried those one. You can also select an intensity zone. So if, for example, we come inside here and we select set target zone. So let's say that I want to set my target to be, I want to remain into zone 3. So I will select it, and I will have tools inside the activity to help me keeping that heart rate zone. You can also set a target. So if we come here on target, you can set a target for duration and distance. So let's say that I want to do 5 kilometers of run. So I will make it at 5 kilometers just like that. And that's it. What else do we have? You got navigation. You got few options in navigation. You've got breadcrumb, which will be an arrow that will draw a line on a black back screen. You don't have map on the Suunto 9. You just have that breadcrumb. You got POE. So if you set a target on the Suunto app, you can select it here. So if I go into POE, you see I can now navigate to the Sutton top, which is in the mountain not too far from here. You also got routes. So if, again, on the Suunto app, you create a route, an itinerary, you can follow that route by selecting it into that option. You also got bearing. So bearing will be if you know you need to go into that very direction for 8 kilometers to reach your point. Bearing will help you to reach that objective. Anyway, let's keep it on breadcrumb because that's probably the most popular one. You can also set interval. So from here, if you set it to on, you can choose the repetition, the interval, and those kind of things. And you got backlight, so you can keep it on normal, so it will be the very same thing as when you are not into an activity. Or you can just set it to on. This way might be practical at night. The backlight will just remain on all the time. And of course, when you do change those options and you come back on top, it will do change. You see, now we've got 8 hours of battery remaining. That is the estimated. So every time you change something, it does change the battery estimate. So let's put that, wrist heart rate, I want to keep it. GPS, yes, I want to keep it. Backlight, let's put it back to normal. And battery performance, again, if you leave for an activity and you almost have no battery left, you can go into endurance mode. So this way you will have a bit more battery, but the information will be less precise. You also have ultra, but I don't recommend that one because it will record less GPS position. So at the end, your track will be less precise, your distance will be less precise, and while you're doing your activity, you won't be able to know your actual speed. So I don't recommend it. The theme, so you can change the black background for a white background, and you can also enable auto lap. So if I enable this, I can have a lap for duration or distance, but if I want to have an alert every kilometer I do, or 2 or 3 or whatever, every 5 kilometer, let's say, it will create an auto lap, and I will be notified every time I do 5 kilometers with the stats of that 5 minutes. You got auto pause, so this one will simply pause if you stop moving. And at the end, you've got feelings. We will see feelings at the end of the activity. Just remember it. So when you're done, you just come back up right here, and again you wait for the start button to be black, to be green, sorry, and you press the right button, just right here, the middle button, and the activity is now started. So what do we have as information here? Actually, GPS signal not found. Not surprising because I'm inside, so I'm just gonna dismiss it. But it's a notification you got to prevent you for not recording your activity because you didn't let the time to your watch to get the signal. But if you say dismiss, that's what I do most of the time. The watch will keep searching for GPS signal and will eventually calculate everything. So from that window, we have, because I didn't edit that activity, we can edit the information we see on that page into the Suunto app. But because I didn't do it, we've got here the default setting for the hiking activity. So on top here, we've got the actual time of the day, the number of meters I have climbed and declined, the distance I have traveled, and the actual elevation. And finally, down here, I've got the timer since the beginning of the activity. And you might have noticed that there is 5 bars all around that activity. And those are the HR zone, so your heart rate zone. And remember at the beginning I said that I would like to stay into zone 3. This is why the zone number 3 here, 1, 2, 3, is in yellow. It's to help me to remain into that zone. So actually I'm not able to see my heart rate. Probably if I go to another page we will see it, but my heart rate is just right here. You see that little arrow? Actually I'm lower. I'm under the zone 1, so that's why it is this low. But if I start running or hiking, I will see it move, and I would be able to try to stick to that famous zone 3 if I would like. Then we've got use with the 3 buttons. So if I use the top one here, it will pause the activity. And from here, I will have the option to resume or end the activity. So let's resume for now. And on the second button, let's see the third one first. The third one will create a lap. So that was lap 1, 2 minute 10. And so if we press the lower button just right here, it will create a lap. So what we see actually, yes, it's on 3 because I cut that video because I received a call. It's the time of the... Let's do that again. That's the time of the lap number 4. We've got the average speed for that lap and the actual timer since the beginning of the activity. If we press the right button here, we got access to another page. So when you configure your activity, you can have many pages. So that one will show the actual speed, my actual heart rate, the distance I have done since the beginning of the activity, and again the timer since the beginning of the activity. And we've got so many information depending of what you want to set in every pages. This one is a graph of elevation, but because I'm not moving right now, you can see that well, I'm at the very bottom on the graph. You got the elevation on top. This is the breadcrumb. Again, we don't see nothing because I'm not moving now, but there's something special on this page, and it's that line at the bottom. You can't use the touchscreen from here, but if you press the lower button, that will come up that option. So we can do the find back if you want to come back to your starting point. Again, if you want to go to a POEs, use a route, or again use the bearing navigation, you can do that from here. And then what is the next page? We come back at the first page. If you go to the second page, the only way to come back to the first page, you can't swipe it. You need to go all around and come back to the first page. So at the end, when you want to end the activity, you will press the upper button. And this time, instead of doing resume, we're gonna end the activity, and this will automatically save the activity. You remember at the beginning I told you we will come back on feeling. Well, this is feeling. It's just I don't know why maybe some people like to use it. You can say how you feel now at the end of that activity. So let's say I'm very good, and it saved the activity. So if your phone is not too far, it will automatically sync the activity to the Suunto app. You don't have anything to do. If it doesn't sync, just turn on the app and it will sync. So you got your stats of the activity, you press the right buttons a couple of times, and you fall back on the watch face. So this is it. Thank you for watching. I hope it helps. If yes, please smash the like button. If you are planning to buy this watch, you can see my link in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can find me back easily next time you need help. If you want to see my other tutorial about this watch, you can see my playlist just right here. And you can also find me on my main channel just right there. Thank you for watching. Take care and see ya.